Yay! It's time to review Hellraiser 3, Hell on Earth. Hooray! This movie fucking sucks! This is where the series started to seriously suck. This one, to me, left the lowest of impacts on me over the other ones. I just didn't really care at all as to what was happening. The movie was just bleh. So, the story goes like this. At the end of Hellraiser 2, there was that Pillar of Souls thing that Pinhead became attached to. Well, that I guess was supposed to be the evil half of Pinhead. If you'll remember in the last movie, Pinhead realized his former humanity and reverted back to becoming his original self as Elliot Spencer. So basically in this movie there are two halves to his personality, and the evil half split apart from the good half, and that means Pinhead is more evil now and more reckless than ever. Well, if you're a little lost and still don't really understand how that works, then let me give an example. Say you're a man who turns into a werewolf. You're a man most of the time and only change into a wolf when the moon is full. But let's just say the man half, the full-time man, separated from the wolf half. So you would no longer be a werewolf, you'd be a full-time man, and then there'd be the full-time wolf portion. And after that explanation, if you still don't know what I'm talking about, then leave.
Please go. Stop smiling. It's not a joke. Please leave. The party's over. Get out.
Okay, for the majority of the movie, Pinhead is quite literally just this head on the Pillar of Souls. And this is where you lose all seriousness in the movie. It's like if someone just got their head caught in something. It's not intimidating, it's hilarious, and they should be laughed at. So with this head caught in this thing, he can only escape by, what else? Blood. Lots and lots of blood. So, to get bodies, he gets help from this asshole who owns a nightclub, who we will call JP, played by Kevin Bernhardt. Bernhardt! Okay, so he's not related to Daniel Bernhardt from what I gather, so I'll cut this guy a little bit of slack. So because he's an asshole and Pinhead's a Cenobite, he manages to convince JP to get him more bodies, because, well, with bodies and blood, Pinhead can get out of his trap. You know, it's funny in these movies how it only takes just a little bit of blood to reactivate someone. Then, for the rest of the movie, they need a shitload of blood to, like, you know, keep going. So with enough bodies and blood, Pinhead comes back to full strength and is more evil than ever. So you think that's it, right? Nope, there's still 1 to 2 more plots left in this movie. Geez, don't you think that's enough plots and subplots? We've got the plot about Pinhead trying to escape, we got the plot about Elliot Spencer trying to rejoin with his evil half in order to take control, we got the plot about JP running his nightclub and trying to help out Pinhead, then there are at least 2 more plots revolving this television reporter who is investigating and finding out about Pinhead. Her name is Joey, by the way. There's also a subplot about her having visions of her dead father. And finally, on top of that, once Pinhead is free from the Pillar of Souls, they have to try and stop him. Don't you think that's enough? Seriously, there is way too much going on here. I mean, that is where the movie really fails at. Okay, so the only real cool part in the movie is when Pinhead goes on a rampage and massacres everyone in the nightclub. We get to see his true testament of his power. Also, during his rampage, he follows that reporter Joey who goes into a church. And you'd think for demons in that, this would be, like, off limits. But nope, not if you're Pinhead. He practically destroys the whole church. You would think that he would lose some of his power, but nope, he actually seems stronger here. I don't get it. Evil like that especially should lose some of its power in a church. I mean, look at vampires and other monsters. Whenever they come across anything holy, they lose some of their powers, or get weakened, or at least have to deal with some sort of confrontation with, like, a higher being that's holy. Hell, even Freddy Krueger lost some of his powers when they poured holy water over his remains. In fact, he died that way. That's how he met his demise in Nightmare 3. Of course, they had to change that when some dog pissed fire on him, but, you know, what are you gonna do? So what makes Pinhead so special? You know what? He probably just... And, you know what? I seriously got nothing. Let's just move on and finish up with the rest of this movie. So Pinhead destroys the church and goes after Joy, who gets confronted by the other Cenobites, who look, well, stupid. Seriously, who designed these things? They look awful. So Joy stops the Cenobites, including Pinhead. All seems like it's going to be a happy ending, but Pinhead trolls her by pretending to be her dead father. Yeah, I totally didn't see that one coming. It's not like he pulled that shit the last 2 movies. So Pinhead takes the box and a bunch of stuff starts coming out of the walls and everywhere else, and begins clinging on to Joey. Now, I never mentioned this before in the last two reviews, but I gotta wonder, where does all of this stuff out of the walls come from? I mean, is there some guy working the Hell control room and whenever Pinhead wants chains and other devices, they just appear?
Hey, Frank, I need some chains here.
You know something, Elliot? Back in the old days, it seemed like I only had to do this every once in a while. But now, fucking today, it seems like I have to bust my ass for overtime, and I'm not even getting paid.
Okay, after this person, I'll raise your salary and bake you some fucking cookies.
With chocolate chips?
Do you want pecans or something?
Nah, I'm cool, bro.
Alright, then just release the damn chains already.
Okay, got it.
So, as you probably could have guessed, Elliot rejoins with Pinhead and gets sent back to Hell because Joey stabs him. Then we get a setup for the next movie, Bloodline, when Joey puts the box in some concrete while a new infrastructure is built. So that's Hellraiser 3, Hell on Earth, and yeah, it sucks. There's way too much going on, the plot's a mess, the film is boring, and Pinhead is no longer intimidating. The only good thing about Hellraiser 3 is it leads into the next movie, Hellraiser 4, Bloodline.